This video is brought to you by the 280 Group, optimizing product management.
We're here with Dave Dersch, one of the best salespeople I've ever worked with in my entire career. Dave's been selling for 30 years for companies like Apple and Dell and Sun Microsystems, and he's going to talk to us about 3 things salespeople need from product managers. Dave, what's the first thing?
Well, the first thing, Brian, is you need a compelling message and value proposition. Not just features, but how do these features tie back to the customer's unique definition of business value? How does it help them increase their revenue, lower their cost, or provide some kind of capability that they didn't otherwise have?
Getting really clear on what the value proposition is and how to communicate that quickly and effectively to the customers.
Exactly.
Okay, and what's the second thing?
Well, the second thing is, how do you help drive effective lead generation campaigns? Getting sales and marketing on the same page with respect to what's a real lead, what's a qualified lead, and then how do they help them build the sales pipeline so that they can then go effectively close those leads. And that means building quality into the lead generation process.
A lot of times product managers aren't responsible for generating leads. Perhaps the right approach would be then to make sure that you, as a product manager, you have really crisp personas, the user persona, the buyer persona, the decision maker personas, and communicating those to the marketing department so that they build the marketing campaign around it. I would think that at that point then you'd get leads that were really well qualified based on who the product is really built for.
Right. It's really all about the messaging and how those messages tie back to the customer's definition of business value, right? Making sure that if you're delivering messages to a certain audience, that you understand who your audience is, who's most likely to buy your product or solution, and then targeting those people throughout the demand generation campaign.
What's number 3?
So number 3 is getting sales and marketing and product managers to communicate before talking to customers. This is really critical, is to have those conversations before you go out and talk to a customer if you're a product manager, making sure you understand what the issues are, where the landmines are, what the customer situation is, if they made a purchase recently, right? You don't want buyer's remorse, or are they about to make a purchase, and then you don't want to forestall that purchase. So just understanding and communicating with your salesperson is very, very critical if you're a product manager.
So letting the salesperson know when you're going to be talking to major customers, number 1, and number 2, at least having a brief conversation to know what the situation is so that you don't say something that accidentally kills the next sale.
Yeah, that's really critical. You always want to have a conversation with your sales rep if you're a product manager prior to talking to the customer, even if you're both there, and then after you've met with the customer, kind of do a debriefing. But again, it's really critical that the product manager and the sales rep sit down together, understand the customer situation, talk about it, and help each other maximize their communication with the customer.
Awesome. Well, thank you for those 3 tips.